So let's discuss the difference between the present simple and the present continuous. And let's see the difference between action and non-action verbs. So you know that the present simple, it is used for things that are always true or happen regularly. For example, I live in London, she works in a restaurant. And of course, you need to know the spelling rules, how to add as the end of the verb. Like, for example, lives, you just add s, but studies, you change y to ies because y is before d. Watches, you add es, just because it finishes with ch, x, s, these words we need es at the end. To make negative or negative sentences or question sentences, we need the auxiliary verb do or does. We don't eat meat. Jack doesn't wear glasses. Where do you live? Does the supermarket open on Sundays? And we often use the present simple with the adverbs of frequency. So what the adverbs of frequency do you know? С какими словами-маркерами они используются present simple?
Present simple, usually. Always. Sometimes. Never, hardly ever.
Yes. Once a week.
Once a year.
Yeah, that's right.
Every week.
Yeah. So these adverbs of frequency are used before the main verb and after be. Используются перед основным глаголом, но после глагола to be. For example, she usually has cereal for breakfast. Has, that's the main verb, and we use the adverb of frequency before it. She usually has cereal for breakfast. But I'm never late for work. Never is used after am because this is the verb to be. We only eat out about once a month. These once a month it's a phrase. That's why such expressions tend to be used at the end of the sentence. Right, now let's move to the present continuous tense. So we use it for actions in progress at the time of speaking. So what is happening now? Or things that are temporary, not habitual. For example, is your sister still going out with Adam? No, they broke up. She isn't going out with anyone now. So this is now like kind of in general, like this is not in general. This is a temporary action, which is not happening maybe right now. Maybe she's sitting at home now. But in general, a temporary situation is so that she isn't going out with anyone. Remember the spelling rules. Like, for example, sometimes, of course, we just add ing at the end. In the verb to study, we also add ing, which doesn't change anything here because y is before and a consonant. Перед согласной здесь y. If a verb is short, like there is one syllable, then we need to add the last consonant. Да, если у нас сложное слово, то последнюю согласную мы удваиваем, getting. We use the present continuous for future arrangements, чтобы говорить о будущих планах, but we'll talk about it later in details. Phone's ringing, can you answer it? House prices are going up very fast at the moment. Now let's talk about action and non-action verbs. Action verbs are the verbs which actually mean like some action, to cook, to make, to do something, to look for. This is they are action verbs, and they can be used in the present simple and in the present continuous tenses. I'm making lunch. I usually make lunch at the weekend. State verbs, or verbs that describe feelings, not actions, they can't be used in the present continuous tense, even though they mean something which is going on right now. Such verbs as be, need, love, agree, belong, depend, forget, hate, hear, know, like, love, matter, mean, need, prefer, realize, recognize, remember, see, suppose, want. And verbs of senses also are considered to be non-action, like to look, to smell, to taste, to sound. So these verbs we can't use in the present continuous tense. Let's look here at this example. What are you looking for? My car keys. I'll help you in a moment, but I need them now. Need is a non-action verb, so we can't use in the continuous tense. What are you cooking? It smells delicious. It smells now, but smell, it's a verb of feeling. That's why we can't use in the present continuous tense. I'm making pasta. Great, I love pasta. You love it. It's a non-action verb. You can't use it in the continuous tense. Some verbs, though, they can be both action and non-action verbs. And actually, that's a big deal. But just to give you a little hint. For example, let's talk about the verbs to have and to think. There are other verbs for sure, but just let's talk about these ones. Have can actually be an action and a non-action verb. It depends on the meaning of the verb to have. If the verb to have means like to possess something, обладать чем-то, we can't use it in the continuous tense. For example, I have a cat now. No, you can't say it in the present continuous. But if you use the verb have in the connection with some noun, like in a phrase, in which the verb to have loses its meaning, then you can use it in the continuous tense. For example, I can't talk now, I'm having lunch. Я обедаю. Yeah, you see, здесь уже нет вообще никакого значения от иметь. That's why here you can use it in the continuous tense. Понятно? Do you understand it?
Yes.
Good. Let's talk about the verb to think. Again, if you use the verb to think as a mental ability, then not mental, as a mental process which is going on in your head, then you can use it in the present continuous. What are you thinking about right now? What is in your head? But if you use the verb to think as to have some opinion, then you can't. I think that music's great, and you can't use this verb in the continuous tense. Do you have questions?
Yes, I don't understand difference between action think and non-action think. For me, it's all non-action. It's a state. Thinking about it's the state too.
Sorry, Oh, you didn't understand in general the difference between action and non-action verbs, or what is the problem? I didn't quite.
I don't understand the difference between action and non-action in case think.
В каком
case of-
случае?
In case think.
А,
I'm thinking
think,
about
think, да? Язык между зубами, think.
think.
Смотрите, когда мы think, значение думать, ну, это, ну, как вспоминать, да, что-то так в голове крутить, то мы можем, конечно же, вот сейчас я думаю о ком. What are you thinking about? Да, о чем ты сейчас думаешь, о чем ты сейчас размышляешь. Но когда мы используем think в значении иметь мнение, да, иметь мнение о чем я считаю, да, то тогда мы не можем поставить это в continuous. I think this music's great.
Okay.
Мне непонятнее стало?
I think I need more practice.
Не, ну смотрите, есть же такие вводные слова. Я думаю, что это интересно. Это же вы не размышляете в голове, вы свое мнение просто высказываете, да? Да?
Yes.
Вот таких вот конструкциях.
Okay.
Let's practice.